Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening today. I'm here to explain my essay. Before I start this forum, let me introduce myself. My name is Rayhansyah with NIM 2105063. Today, I will to explain the title of 5 major findings from the 20 and 21 IPCC climate report. The extreme weather news that has been popping up a lot lately sounds like a story out of a science fiction book. Even the richest countries in the world can control widespread fires. These fires are even burning in the Arctic. Deadly floods in Germany and Belgium in July 20 and 21 washed away many buildings and cars, and more than 1,000 people have yet to be found. Hundreds of people have died due to flooding in China. Temperatures in the Pacific Northwest, in the northwestern United States, known for its mild climate, exceed 100 degrees Fahrenheit for several days. Meanwhile, an area of sea ice the size of Florida disappeared in the Arctic from June to mid-July 20 and 21. 1. Under current conditions, we will achieve a temperature rise of 1.5 degrees Celsius in the next 2 decades. In the various scenarios discussed in the IPCC study, the probability that we will reach or exceed the 1.5 degree Celsius limit between 20 and 21 and 20 and 2014 estimate in the early 20 and 30 is more than 50%. Under the high emission scenario, this 1.5 degrees Celsius threshold will be reached in an even shorter time. 20 and 18 20 and 18 18 until 20 and 37 if the world takes the carbon intensive path SSP5 until 85. Global warming could rise to levels 3 until 7 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels by the end of the century. To illustrate the increase in world temperature in the last 3 million years has now reached to 5 degrees Celsius. Sorry. This period represents a very different climate system. And the next two, we can still limit global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius by the end of the century, but transformational change is needed for that. On the other hand, if the world takes ambitious action to limit emissions in the 20 and 20 as we would still limit warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius by the end of the century. This scenario includes a potential overshoot of a level of 16 degrees Celsius between 20 and 41 and 20 and 90. Only then the temperature will drop below 1.5 degrees Celsius by the end of the century. Small-scale efforts alone are not enough. We need a rapid transformational change. Next, 3. Our understanding of climate science, including its relation to extreme weather, until is better than ever. It is now clear that human-caused emissions such as from burning fossil fuels and cutting trees are responsible for the recent rise in temperature of the 1 degree Celsius of warming that has occurred since the pre-industrial era. The IPCC found that less than 0.1 degrees Celsius was caused by, natural force such as volcanoes of solar variations. Sorry. We next for the changes we are seeing today are unprecedented in modern history and will affect every region of the world. The effects of climate change have been seen in all regions of the earth. Of the earth, we continue to break new records for temperature rise and other impacts. Not only that, the world we live in today has completely changed. And next, finally, its level of temperature increase will result in more harmful and costly impacts. The report describes the impact that will occur if the global temperature rise reach 1.5 degrees Celsius and how bad the impact will be if the temperature rise reach 2 degrees Celsius or 5 or 4 degrees Celsius. Its level of temperature increase will bring tangible change both in terms of intensity from frequency, extreme rainfall, drought levels, and heat waves or loss of ice and snow. Over time, some of the impacts of climate change are irreversible, notably melting glaciers, rising sea levels, species extinction, and increasing ocean acidity. These impacts will continue to increase and increase as emissions increase. Age heading warnings for IPCC report. Since the last IPCC assessment report in 2014, not only has the science advanced, but we continue to emit emission at an alarming rate. This year's report is much bleaker than previous assessment and the message is clear. This is a divine gate in reports to limit temperature rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius. If we collectively fail to limit emissions in the 20s decade and achieve zero carbon monoxide emissions by around 20 and 50. Sorry. We will not be able to limit warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius. If that happens, the extreme weather we are facing today is nothing compared to the impact it would have. Now is the time for government, business, and investors to take even more decisive action according to the scale of the crisis we are facing. Over the next few months leading up to the COP26 climate negotiations in Glasgow, it will be critically important for countries to develop higher 20 and 30 emission reduction targets and commit to achieving net zero emissions by mid-century or even sooner. The findings on the IPCC report should be taken into account in making this commitment so that we still have a chance to fight for a safer future. Kelly Levin is the Chief of Science, Data and Systems Change at the Bezos Earth Fund. Taken from wriindonesian.org by Kelly Levin or WRI David Wasco WRI and Chris Gerhold WRI 23 August 2000 and 2021. That's all about my essay. Thank you very much for audience attention. I'm so sorry is to have many mistakes from I presentation my essay. Sorry. I'm ended this forum. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good night.